welcome back to another developer's vlog of Snally's Mobs. It's been a while, and I do deeply apologize. A lot of things been happening recently, so been really pushing aside on working on this. But you know, I am still working on this little project or just mod that been passionate working on. But today's the day, so either by the time this video's out or a little bit afterwards, the 0.2 beta version of this mod would be out, adding the newest addition, the Parasaourolophus, or the Parasaur. I'm an ARC player. I shorten up dinosaur names pretty much. So yeah, let's get started. So, oh wow, there's actually some right there. But yeah, anyways, I guess we'll quickly show. So these guys will spawn in groups, as you can tell, and you probably hear a little bit of their noises. So they will either spawn 1 to 4 groups, so this is probably the biggest group of Parasaurs you can find. So we're just gonna go a little further away, and then let's just spawn this fella in right here. Boom. I don't think you should be tamed. Nope. Okay, cool. So yeah, as you can see, this is the Parasaurolophus, the really big herbivore. But honestly, these guys are a lot bigger than I believe some people would think. At least if you're playing Ark. I thought these guys were not super bigger than a person, but yeah, they're actually decently big. So yeah. But yeah, so that's the Parasaurolophus. So this is a herbivore they can find around just in plains or savanna biomes, and like I said earlier, they can either spawn by themselves or up to a group of 4. Now these guys are a passive tame, so as long as I have a hay bale right here and I just shift right click and just passively feed him, boom, best friends. Alright, and yeah. And then, you know, we can ride on this guy, and we'll talk about that meter thing you can probably see on the right. But yeah, so that's pretty easy to tame. So there is one ability that these guys do that you don't control. So whenever they take damage, oops. And as long as they're underneath a grass block, as you can see, they'll eat the grass. And, you know, the grass, whatever block that they're underneath will disappear. And this ability only works if there's grass underneath it. So if you're like, this guy's getting attacked in like a desert or something, he will not do that ability. And it's like a random tick, so that was pretty fast for him. So yeah. And just like every single Snally's Mobs creature, shift right clicking will make this guy pretty much do all the commands and stuff like that. So yeah. And one other thing is that this guy, just like the grizzly bear, has an armor saddle. So shift right click, boom. And as you can see, this thing actually provides a speed buff. So, you know, this will not only affect the Parasaur, this should affect others. So we're gonna get a wolf. I probably should have already had it on standby, but you know, we be balling on this channel. Alright. But yeah, as you can see, the wolf also gives the little buff as long as it's near the Parasaur. So this guy will help speed up any tames or whatever nearby with it. And just like the grizzly bear, just shift right click with the axe, then boom, you get your armor back. So yeah. So that is at least the passive or just like abilities you don't control. So the Parasaur has 2 roars pretty much. And luckily we actually have the wolf to test this thing out, which we're gonna have to hurt the little wolf. I'm sorry, bud. I'm sorry, buddy. Oh, whoa. Okay, yeah, oh. You were not supposed to do that. Whoopsies. So maybe we'll just set you to sit. So, whoops. So we'll just really tame this wolf back up. We'll move it away. Okay, perfect. So it's not going to attack. Good. Okay, so one of the abilities, as you can see on the right, is this meter charge. Now, if I am... Oh yeah, I'm not able to move because I'm sitting. So if I press R, which we'll try to go in... He's a little bit too big, so we'll go in this. So if we press R, as you hear and you saw the particle effects, this both heals the Parasaur and the nearby target. So, as we look at the wolf, back to full HP. Each roar or heal roar they do, we regenerate 8 HP or 4 hearts, and each of these is on a 15-second cooldown every time you use it. So use it again, so in 15 seconds we'll get one more of that column recharge, and then a couple of seconds followed after with it. And also, whenever we roar, we have a 2 or 3 second little cooldown before we can do it, so you can't fully spam it, but you can definitely use up all the charges before you before they start to regenerate. So yeah, that is its healing ability. But it has another ability, which is the F key, which is the other mob ability. If I press it, and what this does gives a buff called Parasaur Protection. You can probably see it right there. And what this does is it actually gives armor to your nearby tames. And it lasts for about like 15 seconds, and see, once the buff is over, whatever mob has it will remove it, and then this is on about a 30-second cooldown, so pretty much only uses like every 2 times every minute. So yeah, that is the Parasaur, and as always, it's it has its soul orb, so we can just go right here, shift right click, boom, Parasaur right here, and then boom, bring this guy back out. What the hell, buddy? Calm down. But yeah, he has also attack animations, as you can see. So yeah, and that's pretty much the. Oh. You're making a lot of noise there, buddy. I guess we'll also show how strong the Parasaur. So obviously one Parasaur can deal with a Utah Raptor. Although it's taking all its healing up a bit, so yeah. So that's pretty much the Parasaur. Now there was another feature I was going to have with this update, and it was, I'm pretty sure, less in developer's log. That is creature diaries. That is no longer going to be worked on, and that's kind of why this update took a while for it to come out. Is just that it took so long just to work on one page, and it's just like, I don't know, I feel like I want to be able to do a lot more working on this, and just having to do textures and stuff like that. I mean, granted, the Parasaur texture did take a little bit while, but man, it was kind of just draining or whatever, or I'm not sure how to quickly explain it or how to explain it, so I'm not doing creature diaries. However, I still want a way for you to understand the mobs and whatnot of this mod, so I am still gonna have a thing where you can learn about the creatures, and that will be tapes. So pretty much will be that I'll create somewhere 3 to 4 tapes talking about each creature until we pretty much are at what the newest creature is, and I'll just pretty much play a character or something like that. Maybe I've been listening to too much either SCP reading or like tapes from the Fallout series, but I think that I really like that idea, and might have other people being helping me work on that. So that is the plan for like creature diaries, which will be just called just tapes, or like Parasaur tape or whatever, and then there'll be a new block that will be that tape player, and then you can do it like that. So yeah, that is pretty much the plan, and pretty much all this update really offers right now is just a Parasaur. But the next creature, which will definitely not take that long. I would really like it if this next update will be late June, but I have not been very good with my promises, so I'm going to say somewhere between late June and early or mid-July, but it really kind of depends, so hopefully it won't take that long. But yeah, before I head out or whatever, let's go to Blockbench and I can show you what the next mob is gonna be. Alright, so here it is. So this is the Squonk, a upcoming creature, which is gonna be the next one for this mod during the beta, or 0.3 beta. This mob will be added. A good old Pennsylvania cryptid. If you aren't aware, I am in good old Pennsylvania, and I wanted to add this in mainly because that, well, I think it'll be cool to add a creature from the state that I live in, but also it adds a unique and different variant, kind of like how I have the Highland Cow, which is a variant of the cow. Squonk is kind of like a pig, or at least it's described like a pig, so I think it'll be very interesting to have, like, maybe that kind of thing. So, yeah, that's the next mob being made, and yeah, I think that's all I got for today, and I hope you enjoy. If you did, hit that like button out to the channel, hitting that subscribe button, that'd be appreciated, especially if you want more news about this mod. Like I said, I've been busy, so I'm going to try to keep more posted with this mod and stuff. And one more thing is that if you watch any of my ARC episodes or my series, I will say that's going to be put on pause for a bit. I am in the works of getting a new computer set up, so that thing's being paused right now. So yeah, but with all the way, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, and have a good one.